Who's the next Alabama quarterback? Yeah, we're going to talk about what Geno VanDeMark thinks, Alabama offensive lineman, about this three-headed attack, trying to be the next signal caller for the Crimson Tide. Bama's also got to replace Tyler Booker, and there's three guys that have stepped into that role during spring practice. Who do you think is going to win that job? And how about Josh Cuevas? Heard from him. He's Bama's starting tight end, and he's a guy that came in from Washington with DeBoer. So he's got a really good insight on Coach Grubb and what to expect. All that right here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, thumbs up. Thank you guys for being here. And let's get this party started with a big Roll Tide. What do you say, everybody? Welcome to the Bama Tailgate Show. I got the big sexy Elmo hat on, big Elmo. And we're gonna give these away. You guys got to get in the comments section. You got to be a subscriber, and you got to comment and like the video, thumbs up, all that stuff. Share, make this channel part of what you do, and you could have a hat like this, or maybe you want the Mick. This is the Mick right here, right? The gray, and then we got the Coke or somewhere. They're coming in soon. And we got the Riley Green, which is the duck camo. We got them. And, randomly with that and some Daniel Moore calendars, we're going to be hanging out with you guys and giving some stuff away. All right, let's get into the headline of the story here. And that is Geno VanDeMark thinks Bama has three stud QBs. I love it. I mean, because that's what you want to hear. You don't want to hear, hey, we're worried about our QBs. No, you want to hear somebody saying, hey, just for the record, all these guys are good. And he was interviewed. He said, I like all three guys, man. They're all really good people, and I look forward to being with them. Yeah. Not only are they good people, they're good quarterbacks. Ty Simpson is the guy that kind of leads things. He's the veteran. VanDeMark talked about him, talking about him coming from that veteran aspect. And then, that he just kind of looks the part, right? He's out there, he's relaxing, he's throwing the ball around, he's doing his thing. And I think that when you're the starting quarterback, you just have to feel like it's your time. He talked about Austin Mack and, being a player that can make a lot of plays, doing his thing. Hey, Ty's a leader. He's vocal. Ty's the overall great leader. Those are big things. But when you hear about Austin Mack being somebody that everybody's confident in, and then you throw it to the third string guy, and he's talking about obviously Keelan Russell, he's like, yeah, I think he throws a really pretty football. And it gets into how this guy is, right? That he's confident, but he's not arrogant, and he's doing some great things. He's a true freshman that everybody kind of has that Bryce Young feel on. And hopefully we'll get to see him throw the ball around when Alabama has the 8A is a game, scrimmage, whatever, on April 12th. We'll be there. And then we're going to go to Innisfree and do the post-game show. So if you guys are in town, come by and see us. That's what the game plan is, right? Let me throw one of the most exciting and I think pivotal players on this year's team, Josh Cuevas, on the screen. And we're going to listen to him. He's going to talk a little bit about where things are right now, but I'm excited about this guy. I think that he is going to have a really, really good year for Alabama.
I think we're trying to be a solid offense, both physically and mentally. I think we're working hard in the weight room to be healthy, trying to get back our guys who are dinged up from last year. And building on top of that, we're kind of working into the playbook a little bit more. Grubb's emphasizing it for sure. Grubb and Sheridan. We're kind of no excuses in this playbook. You have it with you. You should be studying it 24/7. And it's just a matter of going out there, executing and doing it. But I believe we're going to be a solid offense, both mentally and physically.
Thank you.
All right. I love
Appreciate
that.
it.
I love hearing that.
Thank y'all.
Seems like a really good kid. Obviously, he's rocking back and forth. He's ready to go do something besides be at a press conference, but well-spoken guy, Josh Cuevas. And he's like, look, we want to have a solid offense in 2025. He's talking about Coach Grubb really pushing, knowing the playbook. And that's important when you're an offensive guy. You want to be able to dig deep in the playbook and have everybody understand where they're supposed to be and what's going on. So I loved hearing that. I really think that Alabama is going to have a much better offense this year. That's not a shot on Nick Sheridan, but I just feel like with Grubb back and Sheridan and DeBoer and guys like Cuevas that understand, that have been there, came with them from Washington. We talked about Brailsford a couple of days ago, even Austin Mack, the backup quarterback. Bama's got a lot of guys that have played with, with this Washington crew, and now they're at Alabama. And you got a whole year under your belt, but it just feels like that's what you want to hear. Hey, this is what we're doing, and this is what we're focused on. Now, as we move on, guys, who's going to replace Tyler Booker, right? He's going to the NFL. Who's the next anchor? And that is something that we're all looking at right now, because I think that is one of the biggest questions that faces Alabama and Coach Cap's offensive line, right? And, we talked about Geno VanDeMark saying, hey, this is what I like about the quarterbacks, but he's a guy that also could slide into that spot. He was the guy that transferred in to Alabama from Wisconsin. He was kind of a Swiss Army knife type of guy, and you see him doing a lot of different stuff. But you kind of got the feel that he's going to slide into that a leadership spot. Jaden Roberts is coming back, and hopefully he has a healthy season. Felt like he might have been banged up last year, but who's going to be the guy, right? Cam Dewberry in the transfer from Texas A&M, hey, maybe he's the next LT Overton, a guy that just is ready to come from Texas A&M and get on the field, make things happen. And then Big Michael Carroll, legacy as far as college football offensive line. His dad was a player at Penn State. He's here. He just has the right fit for Alabama. He comes in as a 5-star. And he's someone that I think could make a difference, right? But between those three guys, what's it going to look like? That's the question. It was interesting to hear VanDeMark talk about some of his teammates and then, kind of have a perspective on exactly what the Alabama line could look like. So as we move through practice, those are some of the things we're keeping an eye on, and, and hoping that Alabama is, going to be at full strength or close to it when we get to the real practice that starts the season, because you got that guys that are kind of banged up, not hanging around. And then, and the spring practice, other guys get an opportunity to play just because of the injuries. Now, the final thing I want to say is women's basketball. They lost to Maryland in double overtime, but, shout out to Jay Barker's daughter, Sarah, who had a tremendous game. And you guys probably know, not the biggest fan of Christy Curry. I think that Alabama needs to kind of go younger in that spot. But you know what? This year she had a great season. Her team played hard. They didn't beat Maryland, but they lost in double overtime. And it almost felt like a wrestling match where you got over even though you didn't win, because it didn't feel like Alabama lost the game. It felt like that it was just a tough game, and Maryland made a couple of more shots. But, she scored over 40 points and had a lot of cool things to say in the post-game press conference. Her dad's really one of the best people that I've spent time with and worked with. And, and when she transferred from Georgia to Alabama, she wanted to contend. And this year Alabama was ranked. They under Christy Curry, they really haven't made a run at a championship, but they had a really good season for them. And, hopefully next year will be a little bit better, but they did everything that they could possibly do. They just didn't win the game. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. Remember, we're brought to you by Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. And thank you so much for hanging out with us. You can swing over there right now for March Madness and take advantage of some great opportunities. You've got, obviously, if you golf, Dancing Rabbit Golf Course, the Azaleas, the Oaks, 2 amazing golf courses at Dancing Rabbit. You don't need a membership, and you'll love it. They are absolutely amazing courses. Now, Silver Star, Golden Moon Casinos, both table games and slots, everything you need. And then the sports book at Golden Moon Casino's got it all. You can go place your bets at the window. You also have kiosks, 20 big screen TVs, all the games from all over the place. And that's at Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. So take advantage of it. And then look, Sweet 16 coming up on Thursday. Bama, first team out against BYU. Let's get to the Elite Eight. Thanks for hanging, guys. And roll Tide.
To Pearl River Resort.